What is going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of ENA We Got Time NFL Weekly Predictions. I want to say thank y'all for checking and tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure y'all go like, comment, subscribe for your chance to win. Also, get some pretty good picks and some pretty good takes on what I got. So, first up this week, we got Giants at Cowboys. Now, I'm not going to get overly hype about the Giants beating the Saints. Yes, it was good to go out there and win. I was also at the game. It was pretty loud in there. I was happy to see the Giants take care of the football as well as they did, even though they did almost have a very, very costly fumble. But that week's over with. I'm not going to dwell on it. Good win. Shepard's out again. Pepper, Peppers is out. Our new offensive lineman, Bretson, he's also out. Oh, as far as the Dallas injury report, I think Wilson, the safety, he's out, but that's about it. I think for the Giants to win this game, they are going to have to, for one, they're going to have to slow down Zeke and Pollard, which is probably going to be a very tall task. Very tall task for them because they have the number 2, I believe, rushing attack in football at this moment. Dak, he has a couple good receivers. Wilson stepping up since Gallup has been out. He also has Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, the 2 tight ends, Schultz and Jarwin. Giants have had trouble covering tight ends all year long. It seems like this happens every year. So I do have the Cowboys winning this game. Now, I'm not going to agree with Troy Aikman on this whole we're not even in their class thing and they should win by, I think he said 14 to 17 points. I'm not going to go that far, but I do have the Cowboys winning 27-24. Next up, we have Jets versus Falcons. Gage is out for the Falcons. Also, Calvin Ridley's out. Harris, the safety, he's also out. Williams, the corner, he's also out. And the Jets only have Croft, their tight end, out. Zach Wilson hasn't really done that good of a job, as we've all seen, taking care of football this year. Falcons' defense isn't really that good, so don't be shocked if the Falcons come away with 1 or 2 turnovers. It's no big deal. But I do have the Jets because they're pretty much healthy for the most part. I have the Jets win this game 21-14. Next, we have Packers at Bengals. I've seen a lot of people say this game should be an upset for the Packers, but last I checked, the Bengals had the same record as them, so I don't know if you really call that an upset. Now, if the Bengals were 0-4 or 1-3, it might be an upset, but I think the Bengals are a decent team. I figure they'll finish the season right around 500, maybe a game over. I'm not exactly too sure. I don't know the schedule off the top of my head, but they have a pretty decent team over there. So I don't want to take anything away from them, call them an upset like they're just trash. Also, Alexander is out for the Packers. Myers, the center, is out. And also back to not being upset. If you look at the numbers, Burrow and Rodgers' numbers are a lot closer than people think. That they're very, very similar. Now, on the flip side of that, Mixon did not practice for the Bengals. I'm not too sure if he's going to play or not. They have listed as questionable. I guess it's going to be a game time decision. Not exactly too sure. The Packers are traveling to Cincinnati, but they don't really have like a 12th man or anything to really get behind them and things of that nature. So I have the Packers win this game 28-24, and that's just what I think. But it's not going to be like a resounding win. They're just going to win. Next we have Lions at Vikings. Swift, the running back for the Lions, he's questionable. Williams, he has a hip, questionable. Hawkinson, knee, questionable. One thing that makes me nervous about the Lions is I was taking down my notes for this game. I know Hawkinson actually leads the team in receiving yards. Now, I know a lot of teams use their tight ends. I know Travis Kelce almost had the most receiving yards last year. That's Travis Kelce. I know Hawkinson's a great tight end, but you know, if Hawkinson's going to be like another Kelce, who's going to be Tyreek, or who's going to be, they don't really have that much receiving help. And in my opinion, they have a couple people out. They have Hand, the corner, he's out. I really just don't see this game being all that great in a sense, unless you're a fan of these two teams. I think it's going to be pretty much back and forth the entire game. But I have the Vikings winning this game. Kirk Cousins, he's been doing pretty decent lately. He's been looking like, he's been looking like a good quarterback. So for that, I'm taking the Vikings 28-14. Next up, we got Broncos versus Steelers. Sutton is questionable. He did practice today. Gordon, he has a low leg injury. He's questionable. Bridgewater's questionable. He was out with a concussion, but he did practice today. He was a full participant. And the Steelers just look terrible. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Washington, he's out with a groin. The cornerback Sutton, he's out with a groin. And one of the offensive tackles, Coward, he's out. So the offensive line hasn't been all that great all this year. They're losing the tackle. They're losing that deep ball threat with Washington. And they're going to have some problems with Sutton being out. It's time for everybody and it's just Steelers fans I'm talking to at this point in time, nobody else. Juju's just not that guy. He's a quality number 2 receiver, but he's not a number 1. As I think now enough time has passed, we can all agree on that. Big Ben has regressed immensely this year. He looks his age that he's playing. So with all that being said, the Steelers are playing at home. Okay. I think Teddy Bridgewater's going to play. So for that reason and that reason only, I have this game 20-17 Broncos. Next we have Miami versus Tampa. No Tua, of course. No Fuller. Parker's questionable with a hamstring shoulder. So you'll have Jacoby Brissett out there. I don't know about that. As for Tampa, Winfield, he's out with concussion. Dean, the corner, he's also, he will play. JPP was a full participant today. He will play. Bernard, he practiced, but he is listed as questionable. I think this game is, you see me young, that's how this game is going to be about halftime. I got this game 38-14 Tampa. I think Miami's going to go there and just pretty much get it handed to them. They're short-staffed at the moment. They don't look good this year. They got some key people out. I don't see them winning. And even with all the problems Tampa has in the secondary, I just believe that, Tampa's just going to go out there and just put on a clinic. Next, we got Saints at Washington. Armstead, the offensive tackle, he's out. McCoy, the center for the Saints, he's out. The linebacker for the Washington football team, Lacombe, he's out. Curtis Samuel, Ron Rivera said he's trending in the right direction, so he might actually get his first. He might actually be able to play. Gibson, he's questionable. I think Jameis should take more deep shots in this game. I know coming into the season, a lot of people thought, Washington was going to have like this top 5, top 3 defense. Chase Young has done pretty much nothing this year as far as on the stat sheet. I don't think he has a sack yet. I think he has maybe a few QB pressures, but that's about it. So that defensive front, that's riddled, that front seven that has all those first rounders, they're really not living up to their draft stock at the moment. I'm not exactly too sure what's going on there, but Washington does not look defensively like the team everybody thought. And I honestly think the Saints can go in there and get them a nice win. That's why the Saints win this game 24-17. Next, we have Eagles versus Panthers. Lane Johnson, one of the anchors of that offense for the Eagles, he's out, and I think that's the only injury for the injury report I have on that. But the biggest problem with Philly, in my opinion, Hurts is leading them in rushing yards. Miles Sanders has, how do I say this? Miles Sanders has almost the exact same amount of carries as Hurts, but he has less. He has 50 less yards or more than Hurts, and that is a huge problem. I understand Hurts is a mobile quarterback, but Miles Sanders is a very, very good running back in this league. So I don't really understand why. Maybe Hurts is checking out of a lot. Maybe they're doing a lot of run-pass option for Hurts. I'm not exactly too sure on that, but I think Sanders should get the ball more. I mean, he only has, in 4 games, he has 37 carries. That's nothing for a running back of his magnitude. I think he should get a lot more carries. Smith, he's coming around. He's their leading receiver, but I'm still not too sure about him. We'll see as the season progresses, and my biggest thing on him was, can he take the hits? So I guess we'll see how that goes. Gilmore, he's still not back. This game, to put it nicely, I got the Panthers dominating this game. I got this game 30-13. I think Sam Darnold goes out there and, he just puts on. And that's how I have that game. Next up, we got Titans versus Jags. Julio's out again with a hamstring. He won't be playing. Dupree is out, but he's questionable. But here's the thing. They talk about the Titans defense isn't really that good, and it really isn't. But Dupree needs to start producing for the Titans. They paid him a lot of money to go over there, and he hasn't even recorded a sack yet this season. If I were the Titans, I would be a little bit worried about that. Maybe try and move him around a little bit, but y'all did bring him there to get after the quarterback, and so far he has not been able to do that. The center, Brewer, he's out. Westbrook, he's out with a hamstring. So I'm not really. The Titans are going to be short-staffed. Chart, he's on IR, as we all know. This game is going to come down to pretty much Derrick Henry or, hear me out, James Robinson and Marvin Jones. I think whoever has a better day in this game, I think they'll end up doing good, because realistically, Julio hasn't played in 2 weeks and he's still leading the team in receiving yards. That is a big problem. Obviously, they're either not getting enough separation, or the offensive line isn't blocking long enough to let Tannehill get the job done. But I think actually the Jags get that first win this week. I got this game 21-17 Jags. Next, we got Pats versus Houston. The kicker, Folk, he has a knee issue, so he was limited in practice. He's questionable. Hope he gets that fixed, because he sure could have won that game last week. Brown, the offensive tackle, he's out. Mason, a guard, he's out. Amendola, I know he would love to play against his former coach after they had a few choice words at the time Brady left about the Patriot way. He's questionable. And tight end Brevin Jordan from the U, he's questionable. Hopefully he gets to go out there. But I think the Patriots win this game. Davis Mills, he's played really hard. He got shut out by the Bills and got beat up by the Panthers. So I think the Patriots, I think Bill Belichick's going to put some pressure on them. Now, it's not the defense we're really accustomed to from the Patriots, but I think they can go out there and they can get the job done. That's why I have this game, Patriots 28-13. Next, we have Bears versus Raiders. Justin Fields is named the starter, so that's always good. You get to see him out there. I know a lot of Chicago fans couldn't wait to get him out there. Big problem I have though, Mooney is leading the team in receiving yards, and that's not a knock on him because he's a decent wide receiver in the league. But when you have a guy like Allen Robinson, as big as he is, as physical as he is, and as big of a catch radius that he has, and how good he is with contested catches, that can't stay like that. So I'm hoping that Justin Fields can go out there and get Allen Robinson the ball a lot more, hopefully. Higgs, the D tackle, he's doubtful with a groin. Mack, ribs and foot, he's questionable. But overall, I think the Bears are just completely outmatched for this. And I got this game rated 30-21. And I hate to say it, but if Justin Fields goes out there and throws the ball around like I saw him doing preseason and last week, I think the Raiders come away with 2 turnovers. So I have this game 31-20. Next we have next we got Browns at Chargers. I really like this game because if you've been following my channel, I'm really not that high of a Baker Mayfield fan. I think people talk about super teams. I think he has the best overall team, like put around like offensive line, running backs, receiving cores, like all the defense, all that. And he just really he hasn't really performed all that well. I think that team has really flourished with, Chubb and Kareem Hunt just running it down people's throats, and Baker, making a pass here or there. If you look at the numbers, what was shocking to me and nobody's talking about, Baker Mayfield doesn't even have, he hasn't even thrown 4 touchdowns this year. Herbert's almost at 10. So when it comes to the quarterback battle, I don't think anybody's going to dispute that Herbert's playing a hell of a lot better than Baker is. Hill, the cornerback, he has a toe, he's questionable. Clowney, he has an elbow, he's questionable. The offensive tackle, Willis, he has an ankle, he's questionable. Harris from the Chargers, he's questionable. Jackson, the running back, he has a groin, he's doubtful, so he probably won't play. So you'll probably get a heavy dose of Eckler, which I'm sure you fantasy fans love that. I really think the Chargers are gonna go out there and just beat the Browns. I don't think Baker wants to get in the shootout. I know they have a lot of people hurt right now, but I don't think Baker at this stage in his career can win a shootout with Justin Herbert, because it's just the playing level, it's not close, and the skill level really isn't close. So I have this game 33-21 Chargers. Next we have the 49ers at Cardinals. As we all know, Jimmy G will not be playing another season when he gets hurt. Trey Lance, the guy they drafted in the first round, he will start. Kittle is doubtful. He didn't even practice with a calf. The corner, Murphy Jr., he's out. Williams, the corner, he's out. So that defense might look a little shaky out there. Kyler, who's on by the way, the Cardinals are pretty much fully healthy. Kyler is pretty much a front-runner MVP candidate. AJ Green seems like he has a second win. He's playing really good out there. Cardinals are leading the NFL as far as points scored per game. I think this game, even though it's a divisional game, I think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think this is going to be close. I got this one 38-17 Cardinals. Next, we got Bills versus Chiefs. Jones, the D tackle, Stone Cold Jones, as he likes to be called on Instagram, he's questionable. Ward, the corner, he's questionable. The Bills are, for the most part, pretty much healthy. I didn't see much for the injury report for them of any guys really of notice. I really like this game, and I hope this game is going to be what I thought the Rams and Seattle was going to be. really high scoring, a shootout. Uh, I like Josh Allen, but I also really like Mahomes. I think the deciding factor in this game is just the fact that the Chiefs have played so many games uh, that are shootouts, and they have won most of them. And also, even though the Chiefs' defense is just not as good as the Bills overall, there's not a player on the Bills' defense I'm taking over Tyrann Mathieu, and there's not many players I'm taking from the Bills over Chris Jones, and I think those two players right there are going to cause something. I don't know, maybe an interception, maybe a forced fumble, maybe even a tip ball and somebody else picks it. I think those two guys are going to be the deciding factor in this game. Josh Allen really hasn't played well against the Chiefs throughout his career. I know things change, but I don't think it's going to change in Arrowhead. If this game was in Buffalo, I maybe would have had the Bills, but I have this game 42-38 Chiefs. And lastly, for the Monday night game, we got Colts versus Ravens. The Ravens are looking to break an NFL record, the most consecutive games running the football. People say they don't read articles and they don't read into the press. I guarantee the head coach of the Colts is saying we are not letting them run the football. And that's probably a very bad mistake because Bateman, their first-round pick, they're saying he might play, and he's a really good talent. I don't know if anybody watched any of his college film, but he's good. You know, you also got Andrews, you got Hollywood Brown. You know, you got some pieces that, and on top of that, Lamar has gotten better in the past couple weeks at throwing the ball. You know, I've criticized Lamar a lot in the past about, you know, really not being able to throw the ball all that well or that much. Leonard, he's out for the Colts for that defense. He's not out. He's questionable. He's questionable. So he's not 100%. Hines, the running back, he's not 100%. He's questionable with shoulder. And Wilkins, the other running back, he's questionable too. So you're gonna be missing. Not missing, but when a player isn't 100%, you can tell. But the Colts running back by committee, so I think they'll be fine as long as Jonathan Taylor still does what he has to do. Leonard, if he goes out there and he's hobbling and he's about 70%, I think that's really gonna hurt them because the Ravens will run the football. And if Leonard isn't out there 100%, it's gonna show, and the Ravens might rush for 200 plus yards that game. I have the Ravens win this game 28-20 because I don't think the Colts are just going to lay down. But I do think that the Ravens are going to go out there with a purpose saying, hey, we are just going to run the football down y'all first, and there's nothing you can do about it. And when we see y'all put 8 men in the box, Lamar has gained the confidence, and he's getting bad throwing the football. He's going to throw, to Andrews or Hollywood Brown, and that it's going to be easy tub. So I got the Ravens winning this game 28-20. Like I said, I do have the Ravens winning soundly, but it's not going to be as bad as people think, in my opinion. Anyway, that's my predictions for the week. Hope you enjoy. You know, we'll be back next week for another episode. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment for your chance to win our weekly giveaway. Peace.